It took me much longer right off of that kind of thing. This is fun to get off. I wonder if that was your thing that was the honky doors and all of it. He was wearing the mask and I covered all the stuff.
Defensively, they just snuffed out the offense Rutgers had.
The appropriate word snuffed out because they didn't even get an opportunity to get going. I mean, Illinois started, even when they were scoring, they were not allowing Rutgers to get a basket. Did a great job on the boards, limiting Rutgers to one shot and one shot only. And very few, if you look at the totality of the game, offensive rebounds to the end where they had a few. The freshman came on, but Illinois did a great job with basically every aspect of the game. This is one of those tapes as a coach that you don't like. You love it, but you don't like it because there's not a whole lot of thinking you can do.
They're like really 90.
But I'm sure coach will find some things in there.
He probably will, but there's not much to
Giant
break it down tonight if you're on this Friday night. They take care of business here in the Big Ten opener. The Illini continue to have a lot of success in the season openers. They've now won 6 out of 8. Against the Rutgers Knights. Continue to shoot the ball very well, especially from 3. That continued. As Illini take off the way they Big Ten ACC challenge over the Big Ten. Big Ten openers now they're 69 and 48, 46 and 18 in all the open Big Ten play.
You figured out
Let's pause 10 seconds, allow our network stations to
Yeah, exactly.
You know who did it?
Shit talking. I want to more of that. It was more taking not available. I'm kind of tough going.
You get one technical in a game against Illinois, and you're public enemy number 1. For other reasons, I imagine.
You know, when it's just not getting showed up here on Friday. You know, I would assume some people behind us may have been overserved by recognition.
You overserve yourself.
Can and do.
Andrew Dickinson can be real.
Can you do a check, test, or is mic check back there? Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. That's good.
I'm not sure yet.
No, I'm good. Everybody's good.
You're still working on travel.
It's too hot for me. I have to use the room.
Yeah.
Warren.
Warren.
He's 90.
All right, we got a question for players.
Coleman, would you talk about the matchup with Harper and how that got you going?
Yeah. You know, I took a official visit there, Rutgers, back in my junior year. I became good friends with Ron, so, and I know he's a great player. Coach has been on me for a while now, talking about Harper. You know, who are we going to put on him? But you know, I took the challenge. I think I did a pretty good job tonight. It was just exciting to know, you know, we're real cool with each other. But you know, I accepted the matchup, and you know, we came out with a win, so I'm happy.
Colton, Coach talked about how you can be an elite defender. How much are you kind of settling into that, or what's the process of kind of figuring out how to be that?
I think just bringing energy and just going 100% every trip. Sometimes, you know, I catch myself on film kind of taking plays off, just relaxing. But I think as long as I'm going 100%, you know, I think I'm in a pretty good position to, you know, play elite defense.
Jake, what was going right for you guys as a team tonight to roll up that score?
Yeah, I mean, to start off with our defense, coach complimented us on our defense after the game, and the ball was popping. Everybody was getting touches. We were playing what we call 25 basketball. Once you grow as a team, it just kind of manifests in itself that you start elevating each other and playing for one another. That's what you start to see.
Jake, what is .5 basketball?
The ball's popping. Like, you make quick decisions. Just I don't know another term. Just moving the ball. 0.5, like half a second.
Gotcha. Kofi is really passing the ball really well. What does that do when he's being a facilitator, especially with all your shooters?
Pick your poison. I mean, he's a menace in the paint. You got menaces out on the 3-point line. So I feel like it's a tough scout at the end of the day.
Coleman, you said you knew Ron Harper coming in. Did that give you a little bit of extra attention or to detail to want to lock him up as well as you did tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, coach has been, talking about this for a while now. Who's going to start Ron? I need a forward. Ron's a pro. This, that. And I know, Ron's probably one of the best players. He can really score the ball. He's a great 3-point shooter. And I think, just taking him out the game, I feel like they didn't really have any other options. So just locking in on that, and you saw what happened.
Coleman, talk about, I know they're down one guy, but the Big Ten opener, I mean, it's a big deal for you guys, and you guys have a really good team. Talk about what that means to the team and for the season.
Yeah, we just, kind of like Coach was saying, like make a statement tonight with our defense, show teams that, those early games are done. We're basically like 0-0 now. Like, it's Big Ten now. It's a bloodbath every night, and anybody can beat anybody in this league. So just make a point, make a statement tonight, and show the Big Ten like, we're back. We're Big Ten champions, and we're back.
Jake, do you maybe just feel like you guys were building to this type of performance after kind of stringing the 3 wins together before this?
I mean, absolutely. I think the season is a building process. You learn from the previous game, and yes, but I think the whole season is a staircase.
For both of you guys, have you seen Kofi grow as a passer? Was that an emphasis in the offseason, and how was that kind of progressed for him?
I mean, I see him working on it all the time. I know that's his feedback to become that passer out of the paint since he draws so much attention. And he's finding guys. So I'm thankful for him. I'm happy he's on my team.
For the both of you guys, I imagine that Coleman more specific. I guess actually both of you. Neither of you guys have played a Big Ten game here with fans. What was it like to be able to beat off the Orange Crush tonight, which was obviously pretty rowdy?
Yeah, it just makes, I think it makes you more comfortable. I think going on the road and playing in front of a different crowd, it's like true like home court advantage, and just being at home with electric fans, crazy fans that love us. I think it just, makes you feel comfortable, brings you more energy, makes you want to play hard.
Question for both of you guys. What does DeMonte mean to both of you guys?
Monte's a fighter. He's a dog. Someone asked me this question before. But he's a do-it-all guy, plug a leak guy. It's hard to describe how impactful his game is. He just makes so many good plays. He's a vet. He knows exactly what he's doing. Hard around the cat. Monte just does everything. I love Monte. Yeah, I mean, Coach throws him in different positions all the time. He takes up those challenges, guarding different positions. He's super strong. He can guard 1 through 4. But yeah, Monte just, he's a real cool guy on and off the court. He's a leader. And if you're not doing so well or you're kind of out of it, he just lets you know like, hey, let's rock, let's keep going. And like I said, he's a great leader, so it means a lot to have him on this team.
Hey guys, this is a question for both of you. Alfonso's been shooting really well to start the season. You guys practice with him all the time. Is this just a hot streak or is this just who he is?
It's legit. That's him. Every day. Sometimes, you shoot a shot, you're like, what the? And then it goes in. It's like, that's Alfonso.
Jake, this is the most shots you've taken in a game since you came to Illinois, most threes as well. Is that a concerted effort to be more aggressive offensively, or is that just playing within the flow of the game?
It's within the flow again.
This is for both together. You got 19 more Big Ten games, but what's the importance of getting number one?
I think, like I said, just like making a statement to teams, showing teams how aggressive we are on defense. But one loss, like every win, every loss counts, and that was shown last year. So just making sure we come out, get a win, and like you said, we got 19 more, so we're gonna work hard to try to win all 19.
JP for Coleman to make a statement. Have you guys talked about that specifically to come out with this first one and make a statement, or is it just kind of how it unfolded tonight?
Absolutely. I mean, the narrative is the narrative is itself. We're last year Big Ten champs, where we were ranked. Everybody's coming for us, targeting our back. So you definitely want to set yourself up with that first win. Just kind of, like you said, making a statement. We're here. We're who we are.
This is for both of you guys. Talk about what Coach Underwood does to the program. Not only lifts you guys up when you're down, all that. What does he do for you guys to keep you guys in a positive mindset?
I think he just challenges you. Like, although sometimes it may seem like mind games, like he kind of just challenges you to bring the best out of you. And I think, like tonight, just challenging me, saying stuff here and there to me about Ron Harper, and kind of fueling that fire. So when that moment comes, I can perform and act on what he's been saying, and kind of proving him wrong in a way, because he's always saying something to kind of get you fired up, and it might not always be like a positive thing, but just kind of like I said, fueling the fire.
This is for either of you guys. Obviously, fell out of the top 25 before this week, responded with two of probably your stronger wins of the season thus far. Was that any added motivation this week?
I mean, it's there, but rankings and all that is in my eyes, media output is just a number next to somebody's team. So it's really just about us and every single day, all the drills we do in practice and competing and all that stuff that counts.
I guess Coleman, with this, whole, obviously you guys won the Big Ten tournament last year, and we are who we are. What's the balance, I guess, and we've also heard you guys talk about, like, wanting to turn the page into this season. I guess, how do you mix those two thoughts? I mean, we've heard you guys talk about wanting to turn the page from last season after what you have. Also, the reality is you guys did have a really successful Big Ten season. Like, how do you blend those two ideas and not get too hung up either way?
Yeah, just kind of stand on business. We have the saying, one more, one more this, one more that, one more win. And we want to get, one more Big Ten championship. And just standing on business, working hard, showing teams what we do, doing what we do. And like I said, standing on business, that's all we can do.
Did you guys see some opportunities in the scouting report to get some open looks from three against this team? Or is that something that just happened in the flow of the game?
I don't like giving away scouting reports, but I will say that we had a game plan and we executed it very well. And teams will always, or the next game we'll have is going to be different than this game. So I'm not going to answer that question specifically, but I'll say that we executed our game plan.
Anything else we got? All right, thank you.
Thank you. We played them again. So,
Oh,
I personally enjoy the hell out of Jake.
Mhm.
Okay, no, you're good.
I prefer if you did that.
Oh, man, I mean, he got him flying around.
That's not doing his job.
Having two doing this stuff.
What they did, helping them being in the right places, the one shots to really protect the basket.
No,
Where are you at? You're not doing your job.
I lost myself along the way, I think.
Yeah. I
4 minutes.
mean, from a certified rambler.
And we made them take hard shots. We gave them a couple easy baskets in transition. They hit 2 threes the first half on offensive rebounds. And, but everything else was hard. I thought we made it hard for them. And again, that was being loudly scouting report, knowing what we were trying to do and executing it. And, you know, they tried hard to take advantage of Plummer and post-ups. With his lack of size, but what people don't realize is, you know, Facu is one of the strongest guys we've got on our team. He's got a great low base, and but I thought we were active. We were active with our hands. I thought we got a little sloppy in the second half, especially guarding threes. But you know, that's kind of human nature when you have a big league.
Yeah, and two of your blue guys, Frazier and Williams, combined for 12 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists. Those are winning guys.
Yeah,
They make plays.
you know, you don't have to score the most points, and you don't have to grab the most rebounds. But you know, when you always look down at the plus minus, those guys are always at the top, and that impacts money. And those two guys impact. And you know, Trent's been so dinged up. Trent hasn't been in the gym getting enough shots, and I was really happy to see him get a couple to go down. We've got to have Trent as another scorer, and but the way he's playing, you know, it was great to see him make a couple, and what he's doing on defense, it's tremendous.
Yeah, you talked about another scorer. Jake has done a tremendous job this year stepping up and being that extra scorer, especially with everyone being sick or injured and things like that. He's really stepped his game up.
Jake's an elite shooter. Jake is an elite shooter, and I mean, you can come to any practice you want. You want to see a guy rattle off, you know, 15 to 33.
Is that offense for everybody?
And he's a guy who can't leave open. He's got a really quick release. He's a great character in our offense, so he's a guy that can pass it, and you have to extend on him. You can't just sat back and again, it's kind of pick your poison with him, and right now he's shooting coming off.
Short turnaround, we go to Iowa City, they're playing right now at Purdue. It'll be weird with no guards. I'm happy he's not there for Iowa, but they're still pretty good.
And shame on you for saying here without guards. Hell, I mean, I've been in that limited. I'm so tired of seeing him. But they got another one. You know, the Murray kid is, it might be one of the best pro prospects in our league.
Yeah.
And he was questionable tonight, I think, with an ankle injury. But, you know, it's one of the two places I haven't won. I haven't won in Iowa City. And we've had some great games there. But it's life on the road in the Big Ten. It's early December games. They come at you pretty quick. So go to bed, get a good night's sleep, and have it again tomorrow.
For the record, I'm glad he is gone.
Yeah. But that team had a lot of guys, and now we're starting to see, you know, Fran's two boys really step up into their own, and both Murrays are, you know, are there. So they diverted, you know, the 26 a game that he was getting last year. They're diverting that the other ways.
Always tough there, but we'll look forward to it.
We'll be there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
We'll see you out in Iowa City on Monday night at 6, Illinois and the Iowa Hawkeyes. All right, back with more, some highlights straight ahead, and we'll wrap it up here tonight.
Who?
Big Ten was the best passer.
People say big man. Guys, in street clothes and more bench for good.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those two, I feel like, but
Kofi would have to worry.
quickly climbing up the ladder.
I mean, Kofi Jokic. It's not too far.
I mean, his brother's too. So, with just one brother, we sit on the whole city. Who was it that they were really gonna just fight real good?
I don't know. Everyone?
Was it one of the North ones?
Yeah. They're both. Are they on the same team as
I have no idea. I think he was the big, like, 300 everybody at the time. On these two really good.
I'm doing this for the Illini. That's
You don't have these things, man, that's your You don't have these big plus cattle.
yeah, you're not motivated.
Bench press cattle. That's good.
Never seen it.
I like
Stand
that.
up,
It's real big in fishing.
Hello, hello. Oh. Excuse me, I'm grabbing water.
Pause.
Oh, you
We're in a global thing.
even if we weren't, yeah, there's not an insignificant amount of backlash in there.
Ready when you are.
All right. Well, it's nice to be 1-0. Really pleased with our veteran leadership. It's different. It's really different. Big Ten play. It's got a different attitude in the locker room. It's got a different attitude in practice. It's got a different intensity. I thought our veterans, Kofi, DeMonte, Trent, Jake, I thought those guys were incredible this week in practice, leading into this and identifying what the right intensity level is and what this is about in Big Ten play. Now we got 19 more of them, but I will start tonight with Coleman Hawkins. When I envision Coleman, tonight's kind of it. I think he's an elite defender. He took on the challenge of one of the best players in this league and a guy who has really given us problems in the past, and Ron Harper Jr. Made it for a very, very difficult night for him. And then I thought that set the tone. I thought our other guys flew around, we competed. We didn't give them anything easy outside of a couple transition baskets, and then we gave them 2 threes off offensive rebounds, which we can't do. But Omar Payne, I was extremely pleased with his minutes tonight. A guy that didn't score a basket, but had 7 rebounds and impacted the game in a lot of ways with his shot blocking, with his rebounding, and really challenging Omar to do those things. And tonight was a night that he stepped up to that challenge, and against a team that we knew plays extremely hard and can really get after you on the glass in their own right.
Brett, I know you said Coleman can be an elite defender. It seems like you challenged him in some games where he might not be very good on that end. So what's that process been like between you two of getting him to buy into that role?
You ever seen 2 Rams? That's what it's felt like, to be very honest with you at times. I love Coleman, and I think he got off to a really good start. But I do think there was some humbling and some understanding, and now he's been so good in practice. I mean, just so good. His focus has been really good. He's been really conscientious on the offensive end as well, but no one believes in Coleman more than I do, and no one. And I mean, his ability to be an elite 2-way player is there, and his focus, and it's staying down and not relaxing.
And that comes with maturity and experience, and he's growing.
Coleman mentioned that kind of treated tonight an opportunity to make a statement, perhaps. What do you think this team may decide about what they can do with seems like a maybe most complete game?
Well, we're getting better. I mean, there's no doubt we're getting better. And we're slowly identifying roles and what those are looking like. We're moving the ball much better on the 19 assists and turnovers on the offensive side. We have an idea where we're going with the ball. And yet, defensively, one of the things I was really upset with in the Notre Dame game is I felt like that should have been a 25-point game. And we had it to 16, and we had some leads earlier in the year in games, and we just didn't step on people. And that starts at the defensive end. And so we've talked about that. And I think that's maybe the statement those guys were talking about. We're trying to have that killer instinct and not have it be because we make threes, we make shots. Make it because we're stopping people, and we're doing that.
Coach, Coleman talked about how you're pretty good at kind of pushing buttons and challenging them and doing different things. How much did you do that the past week and trying to get him to defend Ron Harper Jr., a guy that you said has hurt you guys in the past?
Well, I told him that Ron Harper goes to bed every night and envisions Coleman Hawkins in a pink tutu. And I mean that. I said that because last year he had his way with it. He just literally, it was easy. He just had him on skates. He just put him in and he ran whatever he wanted. He went to their place. He had 28 or 30, whatever it was, and he had no chance. And so, I pushed his button with pink tutu. I couldn't find one XXX. I was going to show up there one day, but.
Yeah, Coach, looks like they shot, they got a few three-pointers, but 14 and 51 with that 27% on twos. You mentioned how good Coleman was on Hopper. What else did you guys do to limit their effectiveness from two-point?
Well, we kept him out of the paint with post-ups. I think that's one of the things that they've had a tremendous amount of success with in their games is being able to post Jalen Jones, being able to post McConnell, being able to get guys that maybe have a matchup because of size and be very effective there. I thought we did a really good job of taking some of that away. Kofi was a big part of that defensively with his presence and clogging the paint. And again, a team that hasn't shot the ball extremely well from three. We wasn't at the top of our list. Now that'll all change when we get Gio back. But again, I thought we did a good job of keeping them out of those post-ups and out of the paint, and then not giving them second chance points for the most part.
Coach, we heard about Alfonso Plummer and his shooting and his three-point shooting, but perhaps the most impressive thing about him has been not just as a shooter, but his floor game. He's really put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, finish. Is that a little bit of a surprise to you from when you recruited him back in the spring?
Yeah. He was a point guard at one point in his career. Everybody's kind of falls into that cliche that, well, you're small, so you got to play point. And so he has that. And again, it's kind of the weighing the scales, You want the ball in his hand all the time, or do you want him coming off screens, which he's elite at? So he's grown with that. You saw us tonight run a couple actions actually with him on the ball. He's very good at getting downhill. We do a drill every day where we have our bigs and have all of our guys jump straight up in the air and not foul. And Plummer goes at him and finishes at a really alarmingly high rate. And so we're really comfortable with him around the rim. He gets the ball off. And but yeah, to answer your question, I think that's something we got to experiment a little more with.
I know you talked a lot about turning the page from what was last year. The guys kind of talked about wanting to maybe issue a reminder of this is who we are. Has that been a topic that you brought up, or is that something that kind of comes to on their own? Is there anything else?
No, I think it's them. I think it's more them. I'm trying to really dial in on this team and not get so wrapped up in, last year. Even though they know, we
we had a couple slip ups last year, we felt like, and they're conscientious of that. They know we haven't won in Iowa City. They're conscientious of that. That's the first thing DeMonte and Trent talked about after the game. We haven't won that. But it's every season's got its own identity, but if those guys talk about it and share that with the new guys, I'm cool with that.
That was probably the most we've seen Kofi pass out of the post in a single game, kicking it back out. Obviously, that was part of the game plan. How big of a step is that for him to add that, and what's it do for your offense?
Yeah, it's unbelievable maturity. That's one of the things that happens when you're a junior. You just grow into the understanding of the game. The game slows down, and he is literally giddy about passing the ball out of there, and seeing guys make baskets. He was killing Jake. At the end when they threw it back and forth, and Jake missed one. And he's talking about when he blew my assist. And that's the fun stuff that comes from passing. And if you want to go do that with Kofi, okay. He's proven now that, and I think the one thing we feel comfortable about is we got some really, really good shooters, and we're going to take our opportunities from them.
How much more tonight did you have in the hockey assist? The pass back out led to multiple passes, ball, and like that.
So we have a saying, 0.5. We want the ball to be in your hand 0.5 seconds. We don't want it to stick. And we practice that a lot. And it's on the board before every game. And that means you have to see the play before it actually happens. So it doesn't, if it's the pass to Kobe, if it's the next open guy. That's when basketball gets really good and really fun. And our guys are starting to buy into that and that unselfishness and not care who scores it. But it's all for the good of Illinois basketball.
Trent didn't score in the first half, but I think he had like 3 straight assists to Jake. What does his off-ball work just mean to the team? And when he's not scoring, what does that give you guys?
Yeah, if you ever asked me to put a importance or on Trent Frazier, whether he makes baskets or not, I don't care. And Trent's hardly practicing. He's very, very limited in practice. So Trent hasn't been in the gym getting shots. And I told him I told him at time, I said, just fall through. You kind of get a little jerky, you don't just fall through, they'll go in. But here's a guy fighting through some shoulders, some knee. He moved better, I thought, today than I've seen him. And all he does is figure out a way to guard the other guy's best player and help us win, whether it's passing. He was coaching the timeouts at the end of the game. He was coaching them. We don't need layups. We don't need this. We need time. We're just literally coaching them. And to me, that's music to my ears.
Coach, I thought Jake Davison had a really good start to the first half. Can you talk about that importance and how he got you guys off to the hot start?
It's back-to-back games. Jake's just been he's an elite shooter. An elite shooter. He's got a super quick release. He's a great connector in our offense. And again, he just gives you an opportunity. He gives you a burst coming off the bench. We know what we're getting now. We're starting to define those roles. And Jake's been instrumental in that. And I think Luke is stepping into some of those things as well. So I'm starting to feel really comfortable with where those guys are at.
Could you talk a little bit more about the kind of blue collar gritty stuff that you saw? Like you mentioned, no more pain coming off the bench, Coleman's defense. Are you there yet as far as the toughness and the grit that you want to see?
No, I saw a couple guys get inside and rebound and there's some crackdowns, but we're making progress. And I'll be very honest, Doug. Are we ever going to be tough enough? Not in my world, but we're getting there. We've got to find the gritty plays. We've got to find the. I was really proud that it was a no-call. Kobe tried to take another charge and stood in there. And those are the little things that impact winning at a really high level.
And we're getting there, we're starting to understand.
We know, we know you don't read our stuff or follow social media, but if you were to find out that a hashtag I support Bello had universally taken over Illini social media, how would that make you feel?
Yeah, it's what the best fan base in the country should be. Just a young guy that's going through some things, and that's pretty cool, man. That's what this thing is about. They're not pros, they're collegiate student athletes, and know that people care about you, not for the player, not for just because you win a basketball game, but because you're a human being and you're part of us and you're part of our family. That's pretty cool, man. I like that. It sounded as if maybe you would put the Ron Harper bug in Coleman's ear before maybe you started scouting, particularly for this game. Do you remember when you first kind of challenged him with that particular matchup? The day after last game of, I really don't know. He's a really good player. I think he's one of the hard guards in our league. And again, I think those are the things that I envision with Coleman, is being able to challenge guys at that position. And I don't care if they're 6'8" and lanky or 6'6" and 240 like he is. He's smart, he's IQ, he's length, he's got all the tools to be a leader. And I was happy to see that.
You've got, how healthy are you? You got RJ with the ankle, you got the guys coming off the flu. How healthy are you not? Some of these guys, had been playing more minutes, 23 minutes than I. What's your status?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was the first day we've seen Hutch in 5 days. RJ's still got a little gimp in a little swelling in his ankle. He's got through it on the court, but we're not, I don't know, 75, 80%. DeMonte's still, you can't take DeMonte off the court. DeMonte will not come off the court. And he will not miss practice, and he has not felt good. But he's still not good either. I mean, he's getting closer.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you.
Next media,
We know what time?